You must ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life. Each week with the Central Thoughts video, we're just trying to share a thought that could be with you this week as we try to become more like Jesus. And the thought today is you must ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life. It's a phrase that I remember reading a number of years ago. It comes from a story that John Ortberg told where he was going to a large church in Chicago, and he was talking to his mentor, and he was saying how he anticipated the speed of his life getting faster and faster, and like he wanted to protect his soul. So he was saying, what can I do to protect my soul? And his mentor said, you must ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life. And then he said, okay, I got that down. What's next? And he said, there is nothing else. You must ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life. And that is a message that is not just for John Ortberg. It's a message for me, and I think it may be a message for you. Do you struggle with hurry sickness? Hurry sickness, it's a disease that affects our culture. And in this chapter of An Unhurried Life, he actually gives a little diagnostic and see if any of these describe your life. The first one is simply you constantly speed up daily activities, whether you need to or not. You drive in the fast lane just because you can. You like to always just try to speed, and maybe you listen to podcasts and you don't just listen to them at normal speed. You listen to them at 1.25 speed or 1.5 speed or even 2 times speed. You just always want to go faster and faster. The second part of the diagnostic is simply clutter. You just have clutter in your life. And if I shot this video in front of my office, you'll find that, man, I struggle with hurry sickness because I got a lot of clutter. A third one is simply multitasking. And you could say doing multiple things at one time, but it takes too long to say that, so you say the word multitasking, right? The fourth one he identifies as an inability to love. That love has a speed to it, that if you're in a hurry, you have a hard time listening and loving very well. And the fifth diagnostic, he said, is simply sunset fatigue. That at the end of the day, you're just kind of burnt out, worn out, you just want to crash. That's where the whole Netflix and chill thing comes from. You're just worn out and you just want to dumb down your mind. That means you may have hurry sickness. But the good news is that we don't always have to live with a constant state of hurry, that instead we can arrange our life around certain practices that will help us become the kind of people that we are not now, but we can by arranging our life around that way. And so I want to suggest to you a couple ways to think about how do you arrange your life. Simply, you can practice slowing. Spiritual activities are not just things that happen in church or around Bible reading or prayer, but they can be everyday occurrences. So when you go to the grocery store line and you look and you see all the different lines and you think, which one's going to get me out faster? You could intentionally choose the one that's going to get you out slower. You don't have to choose that. Or you can choose a slow lane, or you can choose to allow somebody with lesser items to go in front of you. And you'll see the hurriedness of people and how they're interacting. You can eat your food slower. You don't have to just slam down your food like you're in the military. You can actually enjoy your food. Imagine that. Practice slowing. Another practice that Ortberg suggests is simply solitude. Take a walk. Enjoy yourself. You don't actually have to listen to anything while you do that. You can just listen to the beauty of creation. I'm filming this in a spot, and you may not be able to hear it, but I hear little noise in the background, birds chirping, just a peaceful state. And sometimes just taking a walk is a way of flushing and clearing your mind. Take time for solitude. A third one I'm trying to endeavor to live into is scheduling white space. Scheduling white space. Just scheduling time to think or to read or to just try to be more intentional. I remember a number of years ago when I was in a Presbyterian church, that church would schedule once a quarter a activity where you could go and be away on a Friday with God. And it would be like a 9 to 3, and you'd have lunch, and there'd be some sort of, I think we got there at 9 o'clock. I only did it once, and I remember going there, and I was excited for the day. I had expectations. I had like my prayer list, and I had books I was going to read, and I brought my guitar, and you get a private room, and there was something we did to kind of focus us really in the morning, and then we were set apart. We'd meet for lunch, and I remember reading my Bible and praying for like every possible person I could ever think of. And then I remember looking at my watch, and I felt like I was sort of spent, and it was 10:30 in the morning. And I remember thinking to myself, what am I going to do the rest of the day? So I remember reading and doing some things. And then I remember we had lunch. I walked a little in the garden. There was a garden at this place. And then I remember going to my room, and we had another hour and a half or so. And little know it, they had a bed, and I fell asleep, and I took a nap. I'm glad I woke up on time before they had to knock on the door. But it was just, a simple way of just maybe the most spiritual thing I did that day was I took a nap, or I walked in the garden. But I needed to schedule that white space. I'm trying to endeavor to do that now in my life with, taking a day off, of scheduling time to go to conferences, or just trying to be more intentional about taking an hour here. It might be just a simple idea of taking a deep breath and gathering your thoughts. So you must ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life. That's the thought for today. And just a scripture that goes along with it that's a great one that I love, from Matthew chapter 11:28 in the Message. These are the words of Jesus, and I love this translation or interpretation from Eugene Peterson. Are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come to me. Get away with me, and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. Isn't that a wonderful vision for life? Learn to live freely and lightly in walking with Jesus. Every moment, each day is a gift. You can slow down. You can eliminate hurry, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, and it can start right now. God bless you. See you next week.